Hi, I'm Crispina French and I'm in my studio today making a tutorial video on our latest door garland. 4 times a year we design and make kits for door garlands so that you guys can make a product of your own. It's kind of, you know, through the 10 years I've been teaching, I see the empowerment that comes about when someone actually takes a needle and thread and actually sews something when maybe they thought they haven't had that skill set. So I'm here to teach you that everybody out there actually does have that skill set if they're interested. And we're going to make our Autumnal Equinox door garland today. It's all hand sewn and there's only a couple of little tools that you need if you're you know, once you get the kit, everything that you need is inside of it except for a couple tools, including a pen, a pair of scissors, and an iron. Does not need to be any kind of fancy iron. If you don't have an iron and you're into it, you can probably find one at like the Goodwill or Salvation Army. At any rate, this is our autumnal door garland. It's launching on September 21st, and the kits are for sale in my shop, and you can also purchase a finished door garland if you're just absolutely not crafty at all. So one of the things I really love about all of our door garlands is I always try to use them as kind of an intention for the season. So in the fall, I think a lot of us are kind of letting go of what we kind of don't want, what's not serving us in our lives, and bringing in, creating space to bring in new methods, new thoughts, new mindsets for the coming season, kind of hunkering down and focusing on the things that are going to bring us more joy in our lives. So inside of each little leaf, I include these little pieces of paper in the kit where you can write down your intention and your mindset for the upcoming season and just tuck it right inside of that leaf and let those bring that into your life every time you pass through the entryway where you hang your garland. So design your garland by peeling off the backing and exposing the adhesive. Place your leaf pieces with adhesive sides together, and on top place your vein pieces also with your adhesive side down. So hey, you know what I want to bring into my life coming up this season is a meditation practice. So on my little note card, I'm going to jot down meditation and I'm going to pop that in between my leaf layers, each leaf with a different intention. Okay, cool. So you're going to iron your leaf pieces together face to face, then add your veins on top and set the adhesive with about 15 or 20 seconds of medium heat. Okay, so you're going to pull out about 60 inches of embroidery floss and thread your needle. And leave about a 6-inch tail when you get started. So you're sewing through all 4 layers with a 6-inch tail, no knot or anything. Cool, okay, there you go. Now you're gonna whip stitch the circumference of the leaf all the way around. Just coming from the back toward the front, pulling your needle through each time with each stitch. So the stitches wrap the edges of the cut edges of the material. And when you get down around to the bottom, or to the top, depending on which way you're looking at it, you're going to end your stitch, or your circumference whip stitch of each leaf with a tail of about 6 inches of embroidery floss. Okay guys, now we're ready to sew the vein in place. So we're going to pull out about 36 inches of embroidery floss. Could be the same color or a different color, whatever you prefer. You'll have 2 colors in your kit. You're going to thread your needle, and then again you're going to start with a 6-inch tail, sewing through all 4 layers up from the back towards you. There you go, leave your tail. Yep. And then just a simple running stitch. So as you're stitching, you're going to be pushing your needle through all 4 layers, including your intention. So it's a little tough to get through, but just if you take 1 stitch at a time, flip your leaf front and back, you'll be able to get through that with no problem. And you're going to stitch down to the end of your vein piece. When you get to the end, you're going to turn around and stitch back, filling in the dashes of your stitch, if that makes sense. So you're going to turn your dotted stitch line into one solid line by reversing your stitch back toward the stem. So as you approach the stem area, you're going to leave yourself another 6-inch tail and tie yourself an overhand knot with using all 4 threads. Now you're going to finish by attaching the leaf to the twill tape, you're going to measure to the middle, which you'll attach your first leaf at the middle of the twill tape. You're going to stitch through the twill tape with a piece of embroidery floss and pick 2 buttons that you like. You're going to stitch those back to back. So there you are, stitched into the twill tape. Then you're going to stitch through your stem thread, through your button, through the twill tape, through the other button, and then back through all those layers the other direction. And you're going to whip those around a few times, say 3 times. Pulling nice and tight in between. And when you get those stitched in a sturdy way, you are going to wrap your stem threads with, I don't know, is it a buttonhole stitch, a blanket stitch? Watch carefully here. You're going to wrap around the threads and through the loop. There you go. So it's sort of like, it looks like it's crocheted when you're done. So you're just wrapping all those threads together to add a little structure and strength. And then you're gonna, when you're finished, you're gonna stitch your last stitch in place there, and then hide your end, the tail of your thread by stitching your needle in through a couple of the layers, hiding it between. Pull it taut. There you go. And then you can snip the edge of the right at the edge of the fabric, the thread. There you go. And now you've got your leaf in place. If there's any thread sticking up above the buttons and you want to snip those off, that makes a nice tidy finish. You're going to stitch the ends of your twill tape over to make a loop for hanging. There you have it. That's just going to be a quick little stitch with another piece of embroidery floss. Probably 18 inches is plenty, maybe not even that much. If you have a little piece left over, you can use it. Start with your knot in between layers and just stitch over the folded edge. So it's just going to be like 1, 2, 3 little stitches in a row. And you're going to just make a knot close to the surface of your fabric. Hold your thread between your index finger and thumb, and then just wrap the needle around. And this is, there we go. Now, there you go. Now it's nice and right up next to the surface of the fabric. You're going to stitch the end inside the layers again, and then snip it right off. Thanks so much for tuning in today, you guys. I think that you're really gonna find some joy in the process, I hope. If you have any questions or you are in need of more kind of in-depth lessons on particular stitches or things that weren't super clear in this little video, there are a library of videos in my store. Actually, they're not in my store, they're on my website, and they're free, and they're just little super simple, like this is how I thread a needle, and each individual stitch is gone over in that space. So you can check those out. They're just short, quick things. So if you got stuck anywhere in this process, I think you might find those helpful. And I'd also love to hear from you. So leave a comment in down below this video and let me know how it worked for you. Thanks so much.